Plantar fascia taping can be done with either zinc oxide or elastic adhesive bandage, depending on the amount of support that is needed. For this technique, you're going to need 25mm zinc oxide tape, hypoallergenic balm, and a pair of taping scissors. If you don't have 25mm tape, you can split a larger zinc oxide tape instead. The pain of plantar fasciitis is normally felt in this area here, on the calcaneum. What we're going to do is to try and take the pressure off this area by altering the amount of spring in the plantar fascia. Make sure that the area to be taped is clean and not too hairy, as this can impede the effectiveness of the tape. Wash and shave the area if necessary. Ask the patient to sit with their foot and lower part of the calf off the end of the plinth. Make sure that the table is a good working height for you. Apply the hypoallergenic balm, underwrap or adhesive spray as applicable to the person being taped. Here I'm using hypoallergenic balm. What I'm going to do is place an anchor around the forefoot, staying just proximal to the first metatarsophalangeal joint or ball of the big toe. Remember, we do not want to stop all movement. The foot has to be functional, and if this is an athlete, we need to maintain a windlass effect for performance. Don't wrap the anchor too tight, as in this position there is no loading on the foot, and as soon as the patient stands up, the foot will spread with the loading. And if your taping is done too tight in this position, under load, it will be uncomfortable. My stirrup in this case is going to attach at an anchor point laterally and wrap around the calcaneum, slightly pulling up on the medial side to support the medial arch. This will also act as an anchor later on. You can apply one or more of these as necessary. Next I do another modified stirrup, or in this case it's more of a sling, to support the middle of the fascia. Attach a piece of tape to the anchor as before, this time going medial to lateral, but instead of running up the lateral side, we're going to pull it obliquely across and back to the start point. We repeat this manoeuvre on the opposite side. In order to pull everything together and to give added support, we're going to make a cradle by using strips of tape, placing them either from medial to lateral or lateral to medial. It doesn't really matter as we're not pulling them tightly, as when the patient stands up, their foot will spread with loading and produce the support needed. I start my cradle just distal to the calcaneum and finished on the distal anchor. To close, we simply hide all the loose ends. Ask the patient to stand and have a walk around, and don't forget to ask them how the tape feels and make sure they can function adequately with the tape on. If the tape is too restricting, in this case we don't need to start again from scratch. All we need to do is to loosen the tape by simply cutting it on the dorsal surface between two of the metatarsals and tape over the expanded cut.